residence means when the married couples live near the husband's mother brother. The fourth one being ambilocal. Bilocal residence is when the married couple have a choice of living with relatives of the wife's relatives or the relatives of the husband. Ambilocal or bilocal residence, the married couple has a choice to live within near the wife's parents or relatives or the husband's relatives. So the fifth one is neolocal. Neolocal residence is the married couple forms an independent place of residence where this is for independent. So family. So what is a family? The family as an institution is universal. It is the most permanent and most pervasive of all institutions. Cultural anthropologists have identified two fundamental different types of family structure: the nuclear family and extended family. So that is the nuclear family and the extended family. So the nuclear family consisting of husband and wife and their children. The nuclear family is two-generation family formed around the conjugal or marital union. It remains relatively autonomous and independent unity. So the nuclear family is basically the normal family that we know of, consisting of husband and wife and their children. The nuclear family is the two generations of family formed around the conjugal and marital union. It remains relatively autonomous and independent unity. Now, when we come to the extended family, extended family in society is based on the extended family's blood ties are more important than ties of marriage. So it is not only about the marriage, but also about blood ties. So extended families consist of two or more families that are linked by blood. There is a rough correlation found between the extended family systems and agricultural ways of lives. So, what are the functions of marriage and family? Performs a specific function which can be mentioned as follows. So, families can have biological functions, economic functions, social functions, educational and socialization functions. So when we come to biological functions, families can the institution of marriage and family serves as biological, sexual and reproductive functions. The institution of marriage regulates a social, validates long-term sexual relationship between males and females. When it comes to economic functions, marriage brings economic cooperations between men and women to ensure the survival of individuals in a society. Social functions, the institution of marriage brings with it the creation of perpetuation of the family in the form of the person-to-person relations and linking one's kin group to another kin group. So the social function is the linking of one kin group to another. So, and when it comes to educational and socialization functions, the burden of socialization via process of inculturation and education of newborn infants fall primarily upon the family. In addition to children learn immense amount of knowledge, culture, values, and prescribed by society. When we say kinship, what does it mean by kinship? The concept of kinship is vitally important in anthropology because kinship and family consist of the focal points of anthropological studies. A kinship system is neither a social group nor does it correspond to organizing aggregation of individuals. So it is not a social group or nor does it organize aggregation of individuals. It is kinship is a structured system of relationships. So it is a structured system of relationships where individuals are bound together by complex, interlocking, and ramifying ties. The family in which he was born and raised is called a family of orientation. The other family in which he establishes relations through marriage is called family of procreation. So these are both kinships. They could be confirmed as kinship, but if you If you're a child of your parents, and that family of you being a child and your parents is called family orientations. And if you go out and have a family of your own through marriage, that is family procreation. So the relationship based on blood ties is called the relationship between the relationship based on blood ties. Relationship based on blood ties is consanguineous kinship, and the relative of this kind are called consanguineous kins. So through blood ties, it is called consanguineous kinship, or relatively this kind are called consanguineous kins. Another kind of bond which arises out of socially or legally defined marital relationship is called the final relationship, and the relatives so related are called the final kins. So marital means the marriage relationships, through marriage relationships are called the final relationships, which relates to the relation of a final kin. So what is descent? What is a descent? A descent refers to a social recognition of biological relationships that exist between the individuals. So this is the social recognition of biological relationship, a social recognition of biological relationship that exists between individuals. So the rule of descent descent refers to a set of principles by which an individual traces his descent. In almost all our society, kinship connections are very significant. So the rule of descent is all about an individual tracing his descent. Succession and inheritance is related to this rule of descent. There are three important rules of descent that follows. The first one being patrilineal descent, matrilineal descent, and cognatic descent. Patrilineal descent is when a descent is traced solely through the male line. It is called patrilineal descent. When the descent is traced solely through the female line, which is called matrilineal descent. And in some society, individuals are free to show their genealogical links either through their men or women descent. So that is called cognatic descent. So patrilineal is when you trace your family root to through your father's side, and when you trace your family root to your mother's side is called matrilineal descent. And when you make social individuals are free to show their genes or genealogical links through either men or women's sides, it is called a cognatic descent. So that is it for chapter 2 on the introduction or social anthropology. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and also hit that bell notification icon so you could be notified on our next video, which will be focusing on unit 3 on anthropology, which is on human diversity, cultural areas, and contacts